Hi, this is Aaron with Cinema Decoded, where we break down, rank, and discuss all things cinema. Horror and thriller films have a unique power. They terrify, disturb, and yet we can't look away. For decades, these genres have produced some of cinema's most memorable stories, tales that stay with us long after the credits roll. Today, we're diving into the top 10 horror thriller movies of all time, exploring films that not only scared audience, but also reshaped the way we think about fear on screen. So grab your popcorn, turn off the lights, and maybe keep a blanket close, because this is going to be a chilling ride. At number 10, we have Apocalypse Now. While it's often classified as a war film, its psychological depth and haunting imagery push it firmly into the realm of thriller and horror. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, the film adapts Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness and transplants it into the Vietnam War. Marlon Brando's eerie portrayal of Colonel Kurtz captures the horror and moral collapse. The sound design, surreal cinematography, and unforgettable line, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning," all contribute to its unsettling effect. It's not a conventional horror film, it's a depiction of human madness, and war's chaos is terrifying in its own right. At number 9 are the classic Universal monster movies. It was hard to pick just one, so I had to put them all together. Dracula, Frankenstein, The Wolfman, The Mummy, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, all these films created the very DNA of horror cinema. Bela Lugosi's Dracula and Boris Karloff's Frankenstein became cultural icons. These monsters weren't just villains, they symbolized fears of science, the unknown, and human transformation. Even today, their imagery is reflected in Halloween costumes, parodies, and homages. Without these early Universal films, horror as we know it would not exist. They taught audience how to fear shadows, silence, and the uncanny. At number 8, we have Misery. Adapted from Stephen King's novel, the film traps us in a terrifying world of obsession. Kathy Bates won an Oscar for her portrayal of Annie Wilkes, a fan so devoted to her favorite author that she holds him captive. What makes Misery horrifying isn't ghosts or monsters, it's human unpredictability. The infamous hobbling scene remains one of the most shocking moments in cinema. Rob Reiner's direction keeps the audience on edge, proving that suspense and psychological torment can be as frightening as supernatural horror. It also launched Bates into stardom, solidifying King's reputation as a master of psychological terror, not just supernatural scares. The Silence of the Lambs takes the 7th spot. This film blurred the lines between thriller and horror with its chilling mix of serial killer terror and psychological manipulation. Anthony Hopkins' Hannibal Lecter is one of cinema's greatest villains. In less than 20 minutes of screen time, he created a character that's both terrifying and oddly charismatic. Jodie Foster's Clarice Starling provided the perfect counterbalance, intelligent, determined, but vulnerable. Winning the Big Five Academy Awards, like Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay, the film proved that horror thriller films could be critically respected. Its influence is everywhere, from TV's Hannibal to countless crime thrillers. At number 6, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Made on a shoestring budget, Tobe Hooper's film shocked audience with its raw, documentary-like style. Leatherface with his human skin mask and chainsaw became an icon of horror. What's remarkable is how little gore is actually shown. The film relies instead on suggestion, sound, and atmosphere to unsettle. It was banned in several countries upon release, yet its impact is undeniable. It birthed the slasher subgenre, influencing everything from Halloween to Friday the 13th. Few films capture raw fear as effectively as this classic. At number 5 is Donnie Darko, a film that blends psychological thriller, horror, and science fiction. Richard Kelly's cult masterpiece follows a troubled teen haunted by visions of a giant rabbit named Frank. The film's unsettling atmosphere, combined with its themes of mental illness, fate, and time travel, has captivated audiences for years. The soundtrack, featuring Echo and the Bunnymen and Gary Jules' haunting cover of Mad World, only amplifies the eerie tone. Though not a box office hit on release, it slowly became a cult classic, beloved by fans who returned to it for its layered storytelling and haunting imagery. Ari Aster burst onto the scene with Hereditary, one of the most disturbing modern horror films. Toni Collette's performance as a grieving mother is often cited as Oscar-worthy, while the film's slow build to shocking revelation left audiences shaken. The imagery, from the miniature houses to the chilling cult scenes, is unforgettable. More than just a supernatural horror, Hereditary explores family trauma, inherited pain, and grief. It's widely considered one of the scariest films of the 21st century, showing that horror can be both artful and gut-wrenching. At number 3, we find Get Out. Jordan Peele's debut shocked the world, blending horror with biting social commentary. The story of Chris, a black man visiting his white girlfriend's family, escalates into a terrifying exploration of systematic racism and exploitation. The concept of the sunken place entered pop culture as a symbol of voicelessness. Winning the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, Get Out redefined modern horror, proving it could be both terrifying and socially conscious. Peele's success opened the door for a new era of horror filmmaking. Number 2 goes to The Exorcist, a film that terrified audiences in 1973 and still chills today. Directed by William Friedkin, it tells the story of young Regan, possessed by a demon, and priests who attempt to save her. Audiences reportedly fainted, vomited, and even left theaters during screenings. The groundbreaking special effects, like levitation, head spinning, pea soup vomit, set new standards for horror. It became the first horror movie nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, proving the genre could deliver both terror and critical acclaim. Even today, The Exorcist is considered the gold standard of supernatural horror. No horror list is complete without the masters who didn't make the top 10. Here's our honorable mentions. Starting with Alfred Hitchcock, whose films like Psycho and Rear Window pioneered suspense and shaped the thriller genre. Stephen King adaptations from It to Pet Sematary, which continue to terrify audiences to this day. The Saw franchise, known for its grisly traps and psychological torment, kept audiences guessing who would survive. John Carpenter's Halloween introduced Michael Myers and cemented the slasher archetype. And The Blair Witch Project revolutionized found footage, showing that suggestion and imagination can be scarier than special effects. These films and filmmakers expanded horror's boundaries and ensured its longevity. And finally, at number 1, is The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of Stephen King's novel is one of the most analyzed films in history. Jack Nicholson's performance as Jack Torrance, the failed writer turned violent caretaker, is unforgettable. Shelley Duvall's portrayal of Wendy adds a heartbreaking realism to the horror. From the blood-soaked elevator to the creepy twins, Kubrick filled the Overlook Hotel with unforgettable images. Its slow burn pacing, eerie music, and ambiguous ending cemented as a masterpiece of psychological horror. The film has spawned endless fan theories, documentaries, and references in pop culture. The Shining isn't just scary, it's an enduring cultural phenomenon. Horror and thriller films make us confront our deepest fears, whether it's supernatural evil, human cruelty, or the madness from within. From Kubrick's The Shining to Peele's Get Out, these movies not only scared us, but also left lasting legacies. So which of these masterpieces is your favorite? Did we miss one that you think deserves the top spot? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for more explorations into the world of cinema. Until next time, stay scared and keep watching.